Welcome to Miss Lam's Math World. Today we are going to discuss the exam skills of the paper 1 question 2023 question 19. So before we start with, if you need revision of the 4 centers of triangle, you may refer to the Miss Lam's Math World 4 centers of triangle, finding the centers and past paper questions for the basic concepts. So let's talk about some skills required to do this type of question. Number 1, it is necessary to sketch the graph using the information provided from the question. After that, use the skills we learned in coordinate geometry to solve the problem. What are they? They are the slope formula, distance formula, midpoint formula, and so on. Now, let's sketch the graph. If there is enough time, so it is suggested to sketch according the ratio. But normally we don't have enough time, right? So we just basically roughly sketch it. So the question is, we know that the coordinates of point P is, 50, 0, and therefore Q is 32T. And then origin is O. So R is a point such that OQ is median of triangle OPR. So median means Q is actually the midpoint, right? Q is the midpoint of PR. So that is 32 and T. And we got a triangle, so we also join the line, right? In this way. And now you are also given that G is the circumcenter and H is the orthocenter of the triangle. So we basically follow is the information, right? Circumcenter, perpendicular bisector, orthocenter. So we got altitude. Alright? Then for the so first, we have to actually make sure that we know the coordinates of R, right? And we know it is midpoint, so it is not difficult anymore, right? So the point is we like it to be AB. And then we start to use the step to handle the question. Now, we start with the midpoint, right? So we use the midpoint formula to find the value of R. So we let R to be AB, right? And then, so we have A plus 50 divided by 2 equals to 32. And then we want to find the value of A. So this is 64, A plus 50, 64, A is 14, all right? And then we do it similarly for B. So B plus 0 divided by 2 is T, so B is equals to 2T, right? Therefore, we know that the coordinates of R are A and B. So we have basically completed to find one piece of important information. Okay, then we update the information in the graph. So this it to happens is very important, right? Update on it. And then we need to think which one to start with, right? Because the question asks us to find G and H, and we haven't done any one of them. So let's have a look. For the G, it is circumcenter. So we got a perpendicular bisector of APR or RP, right? So for the perpendicular bisector, that means we got midpoint, okay. And perpendicular means right angle, right? But then it is, we still don't have enough information to find that, right? Because we actually need two perpendicular bisectors at the same time. But we know that we got a horizontal line. Horizontal line is very useful because it is very easy to find its midpoint. So 50 divided by 2, that means you get 25. So that means 25 and 0. And then we can draw a perpendicular line again. Alright, that means we are sure that the x-coordinate of G is 25. And we only need to find its corresponding y-coordinate. So we have used the B already. Maybe we use letter D. Alright. And now, we can use the property of the slope to do so. So there are two perpendicular lines. So that means we multiply their slope and get -1. And then let's move on to find the slope one by one. So you can see that it is not really that difficult to handle this kind of question. So we have a slope of PR and then slope of GQ. So for GQ, you get 25 and D, 32 and T in this way. And then we handle a bit for the values one by one, 36. So this is 2T, right? And then this is -7, D minus T. So we cancel out, you got 18. Okay. So we get T times D minus T equals to -18 times 7, which is -126. So D minus T is -126 over T, and then D is equals to T minus 126 divided by T. Right? That means we have already completed the first part of part A, right? So we find the values of T as follows. Of G as follows. X-coordinate is 25, Y-coordinate is T minus 126 divided by T. So the key point of this question is, first, you need to actually use the midpoint formula to find R, right? For finding G, right? The first step. And the second step is to use the slope property. That means they are perpendicular to find the unknown, right? And also for the midpoint, we need to use the scale of horizontal line, right? To find one of the coordinate, which is 25. Now, we have completed to find G. So our task is to find the coordinates of H now. So for altitude. So altitude, we basically based on the altitude of triangle, right? The oval center. One altitude, two altitudes, right, in total. But anyway, we again get horizontal line for the triangle. That means we are able to find its x-coordinate because H must lies on this line, right? Lies on it. So the x-coordinate must be the same. So let's let the coordinates of H be 14 and H. And then if I want to find the oval center, we need to do it twice, right? Twice in this way. Oh, sorry, it is not really a nice handwriting. Basically, the graph looks in this way. So first we got the line PR, and we also got the triangle, right? The altitude, we need a vertex, but anyway, so let's improve my drawing in this way. So you need a perpendicular line, and then as it is triangle OPR, so we have an O, and then this is H. So H is somewhere here with coordinates 14 and H. So we make the graph simpler, right? So we know the slope of PR already. Yes, okay. And then again, because they are perpendicular, so we can multiply their slope again to get -1. So to save time, I didn't write the sentence again, the slope of something. So 14H minus the 0, this is the slope of OH, right? Slope of OH. O is 0, 0. H will be 14 and H. And then we find the slope of PR. So PR to get -1. Right, and then cancel out a bit, you get 36. So this is H, this is 14. So answer will be 252 divided by T, right? As a result, the coordinates of H are 14, 252 divided by T. Wow, it basically so troublesome, right? To score 5 marks. Maybe you need to take 5 to 10 minutes to finish this part, right? Let's move on to the next video for part B.